I'm back again with another tutorial. This is a rose granny square bralette tutorial. It's very easy, very simple. You just need to learn how to make these cups and the granny square and the ties. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it and make this bralette in any color that you like.
Hi, I've got another tutorial for you guys, and it's a rose granny square bralette tutorial. It's, I would say, a pretty easy pattern. If you have somewhat a good foundational beginner skill level, you can make this. I would say it leans a bit towards intermediate. Anyways, this bralette is made to measure, so you go based off of your measurements, and it's easy to add, subtract stitches to help you make the size that you want. You can wear this however you want. You can also make this in any yarn type. So enjoy this tutorial. For the stitches you need to know slip knot, magic ring, chain, single crochet, half double crochet, front loop, single crochet, chain space, and decrease double crochet. For the skill level, it's kind of like beginner intermediate level. If you understand the foundation, you should be okay. And these are all in US terms. For materials, you will need either worsted weight cotton yarn or DK weight cotton yarn. Either or, you can switch between the two, and I got it in 3 colors. You will need a rose color, the leaf color, and the overall bralette color. I chose like this salmon pinkish reddish color along with a DK weight green color yarn and cream color cotton yarn that's worsted weight. And the brand that I use is the Lily Sugar and Cream brand, and the green color is from the Hobie Twisted yarn in Cactus Flower. And you will need either a 4.25 mm or 4.5 mm hook. Either or works fine, whatever you have that's in either size. And you'll need yarn needle, measuring tape, and thread scissors. Now onto creating the bra cups. When it comes to bra cups, you should go based off of the bra cup insert size measurements that I put a chart up here. And yeah, measure with a measuring tape on the size that you want your bra cup to be. For me, I will be doing this tutorial for an A/B cup, so you can adjust this tutorial based off of the size that you want. It's a very flexible tutorial, so yeah, just go based off the bra cup. Here's how the bra cup generally would look like, and it will have straps to this that I will show you as the tutorial progresses. As you can see here, I am bringing out my measuring tape and measuring the bra cup size. It's about 5.5 inches width and 6 inches in length, which is, you know, good coverage for me personally. You can make this with little to big coverage as much as you want. First thing I'm going to do is create a slip knot with my cream colored yarn. After creating the slip knot, I am going to be chaining 14 chains, and in the 3rd chain from the hook, I am going to be placing a double crochet. That chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Then I am going to place a double crochet in the remaining 11 stitches. You should have a total of 12 double crochet stitches. Now this is for a size A/B small bra cup, so if you want to size up, I suggest chaining a little bit more. Maybe you can chain 16, 18, 20. Just do every like even number of chains of 2s if you want to get the size that you want. After that, you are going to chain 2, turn your work. That chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and place a double crochet in the next 12 stitches. You are going to repeat this pattern of crocheting 12 double crochets down these stitches for 5 more rows. This is for an A/B cup. Like I've said before, if you're trying to do a bigger size, I suggest adding more rows to match the width of the bra cup that you're trying to create. And when you're trying to create the width of the bra cup for this pattern right here specifically, you should try to make it halfway in width, because the rest of the bra cup is going to cover the the rest of half of the bra cup, if you get what I mean. So to quickly reiterate, you see the width of this bra cup, you're creating the rows of crochets to match half of this width. So whatever measurement you're doing, try to match half that bra cup. I suggest get a bra padding from like a sports bra or whatever that you have and try to measure it against that. So on the last stitch of this row, I place 2 double crochets actually, rather than just 1. You're going to be placing 2 because you're going to be turning to the side of this piece. And for my size, this A/B cup, I am going to be placing 13 double crochet stitches in the ridge space for the side of this piece. Yeah, I've counted like how many double crochets I had on this side, and the 2 double crochets is like the turning point to help you like get to the other side. If you are sizing up, you can add as many stitches to the side to make sure like it takes up all of the side ridge space of the piece. For me, it was 13 double crochet stitches. For me, I try to count the exact number of stitches because you're going to be making 2 bra cups, so you want to make sure you're matching stitches for each bra cup. So if I did 13 stitches, I'm going to be also doing 13 stitches here, and I am demonstrating visually if you can understand it better than what I'm describing of how I'm just adding the double crochet stitches into the ridge space. You can just choose any space and just add it into the space here. Once you reach the end, you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and you're going to be placing a double crochet down the rest of the stitches. For me, it was a total of 27 stitches. The stitch number will vary depending on your measurement size, so you have to match the stitch amount to your previous row, and you're going to be going back and forth based off of this row that you've made. You are going to repeat this pattern for as many rows as you want, actually. So you can make as many to fit the bra cup size that you desire. And for me, I did about 3 more rows for a total of 5 rows. Make sure your row ends on top of the bra cup. As you can see here, the top part of the bra cup is when the beginning stitches that you've made are horizontal, not vertical, horizontal. The stitches have to look horizontal. Then what you're going to do is chain 81, and in the second chain from the hook, place a single crochet, and you are going to be placing a single crochet in the rest of the 79 stitches. This is to create the straps. Once you've reached the end, you're going to yarn over and place a double crochet in that first double crochet stitch from the strap from the previous row, and you're going to place a double crochet in the remaining 26 stitches or however many stitches you've created for your bra cup. Lastly, you are going to chain 1 and cut off to fasten off, and weave in any ends with the yarn needle, and you are going to repeat this pattern to the second bra cup, so you should have a total of 2 bra cups. Now on to creating the rose granny square. For me, I go based off of my underband measurement. So take a measuring tape and measure the band right here in this chart that I've shown you. It should be around your rib cage, and you should measure like how long it is, and you're gonna use that to measure the granny squares that you're going to be creating. These granny squares are going to come with a strap, so I suggest taking your band measurement to get half of that and trying to estimate your granny square based off of half of that band measure. So for example, if my band or rib cage is 28 inches, I would go with 14 to 16 inches and go based off of like my granny square being about 15 to 16 inches. It's okay to have rough measurement. It's not too precise because your straps will come through and tie it all in together. So you take your red, pink, or whatever rose color yarn that you have and create a magic ring, and you are going to be placing 6 single crochets in the ring, and you're going to pull the string to tighten the ring. Here I am demonstrating how to make a magic ring, and then I pulled a little loose string out because that is going to be used to like pull and tighten the ring. Then I just add 6 single crochets into the ring. To join this round, you are going to slip stitch in the front loops only of the first stitch to join the round. The slip stitch will count as a stitch. So the arrow here, I pointed where front loop is. Usually I go for back loops, but this time we're gonna go for the front loops. And I'm going to insert my hook right there where the front loop is, yarn over, pull through, and create a slip stitch. In that same first stitch, you are going to be placing a single crochet, a half double crochet, and a double crochet. So this all goes into that same front loop first stitch that we just did that slip stitch in. In the next front loop of that stitch, place a half double crochet, a single crochet, and a slip stitch. And this is going to be your first petal. So your first petal takes up 2 stitches. And in the front loops only of the next stitch, you are going to be placing a slip stitch, a single crochet, a half double crochet, and a double crochet. In the front loops only of the next stitch, you're going to be placing a half double crochet, a single crochet, and a slip stitch. This is your second petal, and you should kind of understand by now this is how you create a petal for this first row. So the next one, you are going to be placing a slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and in the front loops only of the next stitch, you are going to be placing a half double crochet, single crochet, and slip stitch. This is your third and final petal of this row. Then you are going to flip your work over in the back. You can see all the back loops now. And in the back loop only of that first stitch, you are going to be placing a slip stitch, and that should like join this round. And yeah, you should be starting your second round, and it's going to be in the back loops only. And you should have a total of like 6 back loops that you're going to be working with. In the back loop only of the next stitch, place 2 single crochets. Repeat this pattern in the next 5 stitches, and you should have a total of 12 single crochet stitches for this row, and you're working only in the back loops. In the front loops only of the first stitch, to join this round, you are going to slip stitch, and you've guessed it, we are going to be working in the front loops for this row. So you're going to be placing a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. You're going to be making petals. In the front loops only of the next stitch, you are going to be placing a half double crochet, single crochet, and slip stitch, and this is your first petal. Spoiler alert, you're going to be making 6 petals for this row. In the front loops only of the next stitch, you are going to be placing a slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. In the front loops only of the next stitch, you are going to be placing a half double crochet, single crochet, and slip stitch. This is your second petal. Repeat this pattern for the remaining 8 stitches. You should have a total of 6 petals for this row. Flip over your work to the back side, and you should see the back loops only for the back side. You should place in the back loop of the first stitch a slip stitch to join this round. I've pointed out with an arrow, and just to make sure, you just count, make sure you have 12 back loop stitches. But yeah, create that slip stitch. Then chain 5, skip the next stitch and place a slip stitch in the next back loop stitch. Chain 5, then skip the next stitch and place a slip stitch in the next back loop stitch. Repeat the pattern in the next 7 stitches. You should have a total of 6 of those chain 5 spaces that you've created. In the chain 5 space, you should place a slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and slip stitch, all in that same chain 5 space. This should create your first petal for this row. There's like 3 layers of petals, and this is the final layer, so the petals should be like a little bit bigger. In the next chain 5 space, place a slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch in that same chain 5 space, and that creates your second petal. You are going to be repeating this pattern for the rest of the 4 petals. Make sure the stitches of these petals are all in the same chain 5 spaces. Flip over your work and slip stitch to the first stitch in the back, and you're just going to chain 1 and cut off to fasten off and leave any loose ends. And that's it. That's your rows. You got the hard part done. And now we're going to make the leaves and the rest of the granny square. So for the leaves, I just used any green color yarn that I had. I happen to have this like DK or Sport Weight green mixed with yellow yarn that I have from Hobbii, and that was the only green color I had, so I'm just gonna use this for the leaves. You can use any, but for this one, actually worked out pretty well. It's pretty. Pick any petal from the previous row and choose the second double crochet stitch in the middle of the petal. I've pointed out right here with my hook. And create a slip knot with your green yarn and slip stitch it to the second double crochet stitch of the petal. Then chain 2, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Then place 3 double crochets in that same stitch. Then you are going to chain 5, and in the next second double crochet stitch of the next petal over, as I'm pointing with my hook here, you are going to be placing a double crochet, just one. Then chain 5, and in the second double crochet stitch of the next petal over, this creates your corner. You're going to be placing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same stitch for the granny square. Then you're going to chain 5, and in the stitch right in between the petals, I'm going to be pointing it out with my hook and arrow. There is going to be a space right in between the petals, right here, and you're going to be placing a double crochet in that space. Then you're going to chain 5, and in the next second double crochet stitch of the next petal, place 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same stitch to create your corner. Chain 5, and in the second double crochet stitch of the next petal, place a double crochet. This is to match the opposite end of the other petal that we did. Then you are going to chain 5, and in the second double crochet stitch of the next petal, place 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same stitch to create your third corner. Chain 5, and in the next stitch between the petals, like I've previously shown, you are going to be placing a double crochet. I think I've pointed out from last time. I'm going to point it out again here with an arrow right there. Yeah, you're going to be placing a double crochet down there with this stitch. Then you are going to chain 5, and in the second double crochet stitch of the first petal, place 3 double crochets, chain 2, and you are going to slip stitch to the first stitch to join this round. Then you are going to chain 1 and cut off to fasten off. You can weave in the loose ends that you have here. And yeah, that's the leaf part of this granny square. How pretty. Once again, you can just do any yarn weight for this. I think for me, using a thinner yarn really makes it like very dainty. On to the last row, which is creating the granny square part for this row's granny square. So in any corner chain 2 space from the previous row, create a slip knot with your cream color yarn and slip stitch it to that corner, then chain 2. Chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and then you're going to place 3 double crochets in that same space. In the next chain 5 space, you're going to be placing 3 double crochets. Skip that next double crochet stitch from the previous row, and in the next chain 5 space, place 3 double crochets. In the chain 2 space, place 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in the same space. This creates your granny square corner. So you're going to repeat the pattern for the rest of the round. So any chain 2 space corner, make sure you make your corner by doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and in every chain 5 space, just place 3 double crochets. Repeat this until the last space. In the first chain 2 space that you've created, your 3 double crochets, place 3 double crochets, chain 2, and slip stitch to the first stitch to join this round. Then you're going to chain 1 and cut off to fasten off and weave in any ends. If you want to size up this granny square, personally, you can just add another row of double crochet stitches and in every corner space is the same thing. I'm gonna go over that really briefly. Just chain 2. Chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and just place a double crochet in every stitch down the row. That's all you have to do. And in the chain 2 corner space, just place 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets in the corners. And then on the other side, just repeat the pattern by placing a double crochet in each stitch space. And that's the very briefest, quickest tutorial on how you do a second row if you want to size up this granny square for your size. But yeah, each granny square for just the first part that I've shown you is about 4.5 inches. For a size small bralette, you are going to create a total of 3 granny squares. If you want to size up, you can make as many granny squares as you want to match your rib cage. I suggested to take your rib cage measurement and divide that by 2 so you can get half that size and match the granny square measurement to that size. For me, I did 3, and the straps and the side straps is gonna add more inches to your measurements. What you're gonna do is take your yarn needle and sew in one side of the granny squares together to form a rectangle. So you're just only sewing one side to each other, just like this as I'm demonstrating, and I just sew in like just the top stitches together. Then I create a slip knot with my cream color yarn and choose any chain 2 corner space and slip stitch it into that space. Then I am going to be placing a single crochet in the rest of the stitches across on one side until I reach the chain 2 corner space on the other side. I am going to be placing a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in that same corner space. Then I turn my work over and place a single crochet in the rest of the stitches on one side here as I'm showing you. In that chain 2 space, I'm just going to place 1 single crochet and that's it. I count the side of this piece. I count about 14 stitches for a size small granny square, and yeah, it should be just like this one side right here. Then I'm going to chain 2, turn over my work. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and I'm going to be placing a decrease double crochet in the next 2 stitches. I am demonstrating right here how to do a decrease. So you're just double crocheting 2 stitches together. You yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then pull through all 3 loops. Then after that, you're going to be placing a double crochet in the rest of the 12 stitches until you reach the last 2 stitches of this row. Then you're going to be placing a decreased double crochet in the last 2 stitches as demonstrated. Then you're going to chain 2 and turn over your work. Chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Then you're going to place a decreased double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then you're going to be placing a double crochet in the rest of the 10 stitches, leaving you 2 last stitches. Then you're going to be placing a decrease in the last 2 stitches. Repeat this pattern, decreasing only on the first 2 stitches and the last 2 stitches until there is only 1 stitch remaining. Once there's only 1 stitch remaining, you are going to chain 91 stitches, and in the second chain from the hook, you're going to be placing a single crochet in the remaining 90 stitches. Once you've reached the end of your strap, you are going to slip stitch into the last stitch from the previous row to join the straps, chain 1, and cut off a tail to fasten off. And that's how you even any loose ends. You're going to repeat this pattern to the other side, making the other strap. Make sure to create a slip knot and choose the corner that has not had any single crochets made for the border yet, just to make sure you've reached the other side to create your straps. Now on to attaching the bralette together. You are going to create a slip knot and attach it to the bottom right corner of the bra cup. This creates a single crochet border across the bottom 2 parts of the bra cups together, so that's easier to sew into the granny square. Then chain 1 and cut off a very long tail that covers the entire bralette as a loose string so you can sew it into the granny square, and weave any loose ends once you're done with it. I take my yarn needle here, insert my string from my bralette, flip it over, and just try to match it to the granny square that I've made. In order to make it very even, I suggest getting a stitch marker and and mark the very middle stitch of the top part of the middle granny square and match it to the middle stitch of the middle part of this bra cup. So I used the stitch marker and clipped it together right here so it doesn't like lose its spot. So when you're sewing, it kind of like evens it out perfectly to match the granny square so that the stitches aren't like not uneven when you're sewing it together. And when I'm sewing it together, I sew in the top stitch parts of the granny square and bra cups together. And the final results of your rose bralette is here. This is how it should be looking like. It's very simple, very cute. Your straps are tie straps, so it's easy to like tie and wear. You can make this in any color and size that you want. It's a good made to measure pattern, and you can make it in cotton yarn, acrylic yarn, or any yarn really. And you can switch between DK weight, worsted weight, whatever yarn works for you. I've been wanting to create a tutorial pattern for this for a long time, but I had to figure out how to make the rose, and hopefully it was easy for you guys to do. Actually, it's kind of a little difficult, but not too hard to figure out. And yeah, can't wait for you guys to make this. This is how it looks like when worn. It's so cute, actually. I can't wait to wear this out. I kind of want to style it with a long maxi skirt. It's the perfect like rose bralette to wear when, you know, you want to wear something floral. It could be in any color too. I am so glad the green yarn is kind of thin because it adds a little dainty element to this.
And this is the bralette tutorial. Yeah, you can make this in any color combinations that you like, in any yarn size as well. I use Lily's Sugar and Cream cotton yarn for this. And yeah, you can wear this out, style it however you like. I wear this as like a bralette. And if you have any questions, I will try to answer and explain them in the comment section below. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll try to make more tutorials for you guys. Have a good day, and bye!